Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. I see people are pouring in now, pouring in. Hello, hello. Hello. Oh my gosh, they're streaming in. So in the chat, while we're waiting for people to just technologically get connected, takes a minute or so, type in your name, the city you're from, and what you really want to get out of this. Your name, the city you're from, and what you really, really want to get out of this experience. Your name, type in your name, your city, and what you really, really want to get out of this experience. So Deborah has just given us her name, no city, and she doesn't want anything. Cowinder is from Toronto, but he doesn't want anything. Thinta is from Pretoria, but she doesn't want anything. And Deborah is from Henderson, but still she doesn't want anything. Oh boy. And Shinda says, I always willing to learn. Carol says from Montreal, and I want to learn how to get over the fear of public speaking. Oh, I can address that. Good. And Charlie, actually it's Sarah, and she wants to be a better speaker. Gabby's from Toronto. I would love to increase my confidence. Okay. And Cheryl is from Toronto, but she doesn't want anything. And Gianluca is from Utrecht. Wow, in the Netherlands. And I want to experience from your experience. Okay, good. Cindy's from Edmonton, Alberta. I would love to have more confidence in speaking and keeping people's interest. Okay, good. Paula is from Courtice, Ontario, and she wants to learn how to speak well and how to monetize. Nice. Deborah, I want to learn how to speak better. Andreas, hey, Raymond, I'm from Thunder Bay. Long time no see. Andreas, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's been years. Oh my gosh. Oh, of course I remember you. Yes. And VJ, hello from Penticton, but VJ doesn't want anything. And Margaret is from New York State, and she needs to be relaxed. And Paul is from Los Angeles. Learn about communicating more clearly. Shy Rose is from Toronto, but she doesn't want anything. Mag is from Charlotte, and she wants confidence, authority, and better communication skills. Wow, I know what to talk about now. Jeff is from Bournemouth. I guess that's in England. And I want to know how to have more stage presence. Okay, good. Serge says, hi, Raymond, glad to see you. Coolwinder says, I'm learning how to close a deal. Good. Erica says, hi, Raymond, how are you? Erica from Amsterdam. Wow. I'm also willing to learn, as you know. Ashley Bear says, from Boise, I need the confidence to be a more confident speaker with influence. Wow. Jude says, I want to learn to speak well and get attention. Okay. Jason from Toronto, I want to learn how you make it look so easy. All right. Shy Rose is from Toronto. Serge, I just want to be a better man. Wow. Clayton is from Dryden, and he wants to accelerate his speaking career. Natalie is from UK to be as great a speaker as Raymond. Okay, good. Samaya is from Vancouver in Canada. I want to learn how to captivate my audience. Green Mine Properties is actually Fanny from London. I don't know if that's London, England or London, Ontario. I would love to know how to be a good public speaker. Sue Doan, hello, my dear friend, is from Midland, Ontario, but she didn't tell us what she wants. And Florence is from Accra in Ghana. Wow, Ghana. To learn how to communicate, to influence, and communicate with clarity. Wow. Tim is from Los Angeles. He wants to be a confident speaker with authority. Jude is from Toronto. Myrna is from Oakland, thinking on my feet confidently. All right. Michael is from London, England. Deeper insight into wowing larger audiences. Sthinda, I love learning, and every single opportunity I get, I take it. I'm from Pretoria, South Africa. Wow. Cheryl Frank says, I want to get over the fear of public speaking. I think that's the first thing I'll cover since everyone's interested in that. Hello, Raymond. Steve Harris from Barrie, Ontario. I want to be a confident and engaging speaker right now. Okay, good. Shantae is from Bridges Publishing House, launching soon and want to master sharing our why with the masses. Okay, good. Diana is from Minnesota. I would like to learn how to present material in an engaging way. Lee from Utah would love to know how to sound more confident and monetize. Shiro says, can always learn something from an experienced person like you. Oh my God, there's 65 messages. Oh, I had no idea. Scott, Samir, Mike Barry, Renee from Toronto, Irene, Jose, Linda, Shirley, Serge, Vijay, Donna, Serge, Ashley, Basha, Daisy, Dee. Wow. Mashaba, Bruce, Jennifer, Kulwinder, Karen, Andreas, Chris. Andreas, remind me your wife's name. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. I'm going to be so embarrassed when you tell me. Chris, Carolina, Valentina, Michelle, Shirley, Aldo. Now I've said all these and I've still got 75 to go. Lone, Susanna, Donald, Maureen, Henrietta, Marcia, Sue, Andreas, Janelle, of course. Oh my gosh. TJ Sills. Oh, I finished. Crystal Woods. And Rita E.T. Hi, doctor. What does that mean? Hi, doctor. Oh, you. Hello. Hi, I'm Dr. Alexandra from Regina in Canada, and I want to learn more power speaking. Wow, Miha. Hello, Raymond. Miha from Slovenia, my dear friend Miha. I would love to be the motivational entrepreneur speaker. I'll be leaving you for a moment. I'm working on startup project. Tom Barrington. Hello, my friend Tom. Launching my book soon. I'll be holding all-day Zoom webinar, and I want to make sure it's great experience for all my students. And Miha says, be back soon, I hope. All right. Wow, that was so much fun. Wow. Okay, so it's 7 minutes after. Are you doing live on Facebook to Aaron? I'm not sure who Kulwinder's talking to. And Dr. Owen in Vancouver says, how to keep attention in an age of short attention span. Well, that's a bad attitude, Dr. Owen. If you think that people have a short attention span, then you will create audiences with short attention spans. That never occurs to me, and I have them captivated for the whole time they're with me. So just let that go, doctor. Donna, hello, Donna. One tip is when you present virtually, make sure your camera is level or higher than eye level. It's a more flattering angle to look at. Well, mine's lower. Guess this isn't going to work. Kulwinder says, Raymond, this one is on Facebook Live, so then I can share. Is it? Mickey or Francis, are we also sharing on Facebook Live?
We are not at the moment, but I can set that up to do so.
Yeah, people are saying that that's actually happening right now. Kulwinder said, Raymond, this one is on Facebook Live. All right, well, if you can do it, please do it. That'd be fun. Paula says, you're so cute. It doesn't matter where your camera is, but it's important for most of us. Oh, I'm so cute, I can have my camera anywhere? Well, let's try this. Let's just look at my left eye and my nose. Am I still cute? I don't think so. Anyways, Sathinda says, Raymond, I attended your last summit and I learned so much. So I came here running. Wow, what a sweetheart you are. Everyone's a sweetheart. So I'm going to start by answering a couple of the questions. And one is, how do you get over fear of speaking? So I want you to take notes because this is really important. And this is going to shock you. I'm going to actually teach you how to overcome your fear of getting up on stage. So I want you to go back to when you were a caveman, because your body hasn't changed much since caveman times. And I want you to, Duni Owa from Nigeria, no way. Dr. Duni Owa. You know, she got an honorary doctor degree because she wrote a book through my program. Hi, Dunny. Good to see you typing. So when you're a caveman, if you were in a flat plain and there was no one around you for hundreds of miles, you could relax. You could completely relax because nothing could hurt you. But let's say you were walking through a jungle and there was noises everywhere, maybe rattling noises or growling noises. Every time there was a noise or every time there was a movement that you detected, it could be an animal that wants to eat you. And so you have to be at high alert. Every time there's a sound, high alert. Every time there's a movement, high alert. And testosterone has to pump through your body. And adrenaline has to pump through your body so that you are ready in case that noise or movement is an animal that wants to eat you. So now fast forward from 100,000 years ago when you were a caveman to today. When you're sitting at your desk and you're in your office and you're safe and everything in your office is there because you put it there, so you know everything, then you're like a caveman in a wide open plain. Nothing can hurt you. But when someone says, I want you to go up on stage right now and give a talk on, or just even talk about something you know about, all of a sudden, it's like there's a movement in the trees or there's a growling sound and you don't know if somebody there is going to want to eat you. It's exactly the same because when you walk up on stage, you don't know what's there. There could be a heckler in the crowd who says, who the hell are you to be teaching us? Or there could be one of your enemies who's kind of grinning and smirking at you. You don't know. Or maybe you're giving a talk on health and the first two rows are all medical doctors and you say, oh my gosh, they know more than me. What'll I do? So when you're on stage, you never know. It's a battle. It's a campaign. And so your body surges with testosterone and surges with adrenaline to protect you against whatever is there. And you feel it in your stomach. The adrenaline actually has a feeling attached to it. And you actually feel it in your stomach. It's neither good nor bad. You just feel it in your stomach. It's just like if you're typing too high, you'll feel it in your shoulders. It's neither good nor bad. That's just where you feel it. If you play tennis a lot, where will you feel it? In your elbow. So it's called tennis elbow. Your elbow is neither good nor bad. That's just where the feeling is. Could be your elbow, could be your shoulders, could be your stomach. And so when you feel the feeling in your stomach, when you're just about to go on stage, you call it butterflies and you decide that butterflies are bad. But it's not butterflies, it's testosterone and adrenaline. And it's not bad, it's good. It's good. If you didn't have the adrenaline coursing through your body when you're just about to go on stage, then you're unprepared for an animal jumping out and killing you. Just like when you were a caveman. When you were a caveman, it was a real danger. Like a real lion could jump out of a real forest or a real jungle and really bite you and eat you. Well, today we don't have lions, at least in major cities. We don't have lions that jump out of audiences and eat you, but the experience is the same. So next time you're about to go up on stage and you feel that feeling, say to yourself, oh, thank goodness, my adrenaline has kicked in, I'm ready. See, what other people foolishly do is they say, uh-oh, I got this feeling, I'm calling it butterflies, better not go on stage. But that's the wrong conclusion. You got the butterflies from the adrenaline, and you got the adrenaline because the body is protecting you, surging you with adrenaline. So if somebody says something, you can respond quickly. If somebody does something, you can respond quickly. So it's there to help you. It is there to help you. Butterflies are not bad. Stop calling it butterflies. There's no butterflies in your stomach. That's a silly concept. What is it? It's adrenaline there to protect you. So I'd like some comments, please. What did you learn about my little talk that it's exactly the same as caveman times, and it's there, it's adrenaline and testosterone to protect you? Okay. Do you get this feeling still? Yes. And I learned to love it. And hold on, whoa, it's going so fast. I get the feeling still. Jennifer says, I'm so grateful to know this now, all the difference in the world. Thank you, Jennifer. Irene says, memorable story. It's more than just a story, it's real. Cheryl says, makes sense what you said. Good. Jason says, I'm a better caveman now. Marcia says, this is not bad to experience the adrenaline. No, it's not bad. And Curtis says, it's a good feel. That's right, it's a good feeling. Very good analogy to the lion and the caveman. Yes, but it's actually true. Paul says, I think it's the same feeling as excitement. Exactly. George says, great analogy. Mag says, the adrenaline is a way of your body saying it's ready for the win. Good. Anna says, it's fun to go on stage knowing that. Good. M says, I thought it was me alone. No. Dana says, fear is false evidence appearing real. I already knew this. Good. Bruce says, fight or flight. It's a natural process and we should be ready when it happens. Thanks, Raymond. Florence says, it's very interesting to know the changes perspective makes everything so much better. Yes, Stephen says, so I should feel excited to be there. Yes, yes, when you feel what you incorrectly call butterflies, that's your self-awareness that you're ready. You're on high alert. I learned to be authentic and there are no nerves anymore. Okay. Paula says it's a powerful surge. Yes. Rick says, yes, it's very difficult to overcome, but good to use. No, it's not difficult to overcome. You only think it's difficult to overcome because you think there's something to overcome. There's nothing to overcome. The adrenaline is there to help you. Why would you want to overcome the adrenaline? The adrenaline is there to help you. Rick, there's nothing to overcome. Jose says, fear is where we put it or where we feel it. Okay, Jose, but it's not fear, it's adrenaline, and it's there to save you. Why would you be afraid of your savior? S. Mirabella says, it may be severe. Not sure what she means. Sthinda says, I'm ready for more adrenaline. Hallelujah. So Sthinda's figured it out. Shirley says, it's good for me as I'm doing vlogs and there's no one really in front of me. Okay, good. Even if there is. Paula, how do you control the trembling? Let it go. Let your hand tremble. So what? Aldo says, this is very interesting, Raymond. I'm so glad you explained it this way. I'll be more confident next time I go on stage. Good. Okay, now I need to go back to Dr. forgot his name, who keeps saying that attention span has gone down. Okay, so doctor, here's what I want to tell you. You have this fixed idea that attention spans have gone down. You've got proof that Twitter is successful because it's only 140 characters. You've got all this proof. Okay, so here's your choice, doctor. Keep all your evidence and give lousy talks. Keep all your evidence and give lousy talks because you're confident that nobody out there is paying attention. Go ahead, keep your ideas and give lousy talks. What I'm saying is, I don't have that thought. I have the thought that people are fascinated by me and love listening to me, and so they do. You have the thought that attention spans are short, and so you'll create that. You will create whatever you think. Whatever you think, that's what you'll create. And so, doctor, I actually know that attention spans have gone down. I know that. But I don't think it because it doesn't help me and it doesn't help you. So just let it go because it doesn't help you at all and work on how to be fascinating and ignore this proof that you have that attention spans have gone down because it's not going to help you. Okay. So let's get into the deal. Let's get into the deal. I think that communication is the number one most important thing that man has ever created. Communication is the number one most important thing that man has ever created. If we didn't have any way to communicate except go, like if a caveman is hungry and he points to food and says, ugh, that's pretty basic communication, except his cave woman would know what he wanted. And so if we couldn't even have that, if there was no communication whatsoever, type in what also couldn't happen, what also couldn't get created. If there was no communication, what else couldn't happen today? No love, no books. That's right. There'd be no relationship. There'd be no babies. You know what, Paul? There'd still be babies. There'd still be babies. No relationships, no languages. We couldn't tell stories. There'd be no understanding, no business. There would be no business. There'd be no nutrition. There'd be no emotional response. There'll be nothing. No Aaron. That's interesting. No rapport, no teaching. So correction, what do you do if you get the jitters and a trembling voice? So Irene, just be authentic and just say, you know what? I got the jitters and I have a trembling voice because I'm frightened. Are you a terrible audience or are you a nice audience? And they'll all yell out, we're a nice audience. Don't be afraid of us. Like, just tell the truth and you'll laugh and get over it. Gianluca says, without communication, there'd be no connection, no understanding. Can't hunt in a party. No knowledge, no information, no innovation, no wisdom, no inventions. Wow, no science, no history, no philosophy, no money, no medicine. Paula, you nailed it. No science, no history, no philosophy, no money, no medicine, no science, nothing. No books, no television, no radio, nothing. No summit. Not sure what that means. No sarcasm. That's funny. A horrid world without books. No architecture. No web, no internet, no universities. Not sure what that means, Rick. Chaos from lack of communication, no input. Even this webinar would not be possible. The Tower of Babel, except the Tower of Babel is everyone was able to communicate, but only, oh yeah, okay, they couldn't communicate. Okay, I get that. Jose said there'd be no challenges, no creating, no expanding, no collaboration, no co-creation, no invention. No literature, no teaching, no Zoom calls, no sex. You know what? The other guy who said no babies and you who said no sex, I think if I couldn't communicate, I could still have sex. If I was a caveman, I'd somehow figure it out. No soppy jokes, no laughter, no annoying telemarketers, no financial freedom, no culture. Can't say Angula or Jamunji. Can't, okay, I guess you can't say anything. All right. It's not sex, but rape. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Okay. No misinformation. All right. All right. So we had a wonderful experience in realizing that communication is the basis of everything. Well, if it's the basis of everything, then the better you can communicate, the better you can have history, science, knowledge, and money. The better you can communicate, the better you can have money. If you don't speak for a year, is it easier to earn money or harder to earn money? Just type in your answer. If you don't speak for a year, is it easier to earn money? Harder, correct. Harder. So let's break down the requirements for communication. You probably never thought about this. I want you to type in, very good. Everyone got harder right. Okay, good. Well done. Now, please type in what you think are the components of communication. Yes, so clarity, very good. Clarity is a component, but in a way that you don't expect. For example, if I wink at a girl, she may not know exactly what I mean, but she has some hint. So we don't have clarity, but we still have communication. But it's a good idea. Marcia says, speaking in language people understand, okay? Renee says, teaching, good. Voice, no, you don't need voice. If I walk up to my wife and I stroke her hair, there's no voice, but I'm communicating. Chantel says concise. Well, there are people who aren't concise, but they still communicate. Listening, absolutely. There has to be listening. That is absolutely correct. Nonverbal communication, correct. Succinct, no, communication doesn't have to be succinct. It's better if it is, but it doesn't have to be. Understanding, absolutely. There has to be listening and understanding. Very good. There has to be a message. Absolutely, there has to be a message. There has to be speech. No. If I caress my wife's hair, there's no speech. Body language? No. If I'm listening to the radio, that's communication, but there's no body language. Confidence? No. Research? No. Practice? No. The very first time that a baby says mama, if it's the first time, there's been no practicing, and yet the mother is actually happy. Body language? No, not because the radio has no body language. Clarity, there are people who talk without clarity. Eye contact, there's no eye contact in a radio. A message, very good. Listening, very good. Presence, I'm not sure what that means. Presentation, I guess so. Clear and concise, there's lots of communication that isn't clear or concise. Words, no, if I caress my wife's hair, there's no words. Tone, if I caress my wife's hair, there's no tone. Body language, if you listen to the radio, there's no body language. So you can see that it's not easy. You can see there's hundreds of people who've given suggestions, and a lot of them are not correct. You are not correct. I'm not saying you're bad or wrong. Let that go. I love you. I love that you're showing your enthusiasm. However, a lot of what you wrote down isn't correct. There can't be eye contact if it's a radio. There can't be tone if I wink. And so communication is actually a tougher concept than you think. So I'm going to, Charlie Chaplin was an excellent communicator without words. Absolutely. Charlie Chaplin was one of the best. Carol says, we love you too, Raymond. Okay, so here is the two basic issues. This is the two most basic things you need. Oh, S. Mirabella, you typed it in just before I did. Sending and receiving. S. Mirabella, you go to the front of the class, you get a sticker and two happy faces. I'm very impressed with you. Sender and receiver, not speaker and listener. Because if I'm stroking my wife's hair, there's no speaker or listener. If I wink at a girl, there's no speaker or listener. But there is a sender and a receiver. And a medium. Eliu, you're absolutely correct. There has to be a medium. And I'm going to use a different word than medium, but you're right. There has to be a distance. There has to be a distance. So we're breaking it down now. A sender, a receiver, and distance. If there was no distance, then the sender would be in the same place as the receiver and it would all be one person. So it has to be two separate things. Now the sender doesn't even have to be a human. It could be a tree that's waving back and forth and making crackling sounds and you're saying, oh my God, the tree's gonna fall on my house. So the sender is the tree, or the sender is an piece of electronic equipment. So there has to be a sender and a receiver over distance. But what happens over the distance? And the answer is a message. A message has to go from sender to receiver over a distance. And the message does not have to be words. If I stroke my wife's hair, maybe the message is admiration or love or respect or happiness. And if a tree is waving wildly in the wind and is making large cracking sounds, then the message might be, I'm about to fall over on your house. The sender is the tree, the receiver is you, And the distance is the distance between the tree and you. Shri says that medium describes it better than distance. Okay, good, thank you. So my suggestion is you use the word medium. But I love your excitement. Please make sure your to is set to all. Oh, thank you. So let me do that again. Sender and receiver. Oops. Sender and receiver over a distance, and there has to be a message. Good. Now that's not it. That's not it. There has to be more. And this is where it becomes fascinating. There has to be attention. The sender has to have attention. Have you ever been in a conversation with somebody and they're not giving any attention? They're just looking around, they're looking at the waitress that walks by, they're staring out the window, and you ask a question, do you have a PhD? And I say, no. There's no communication because there's no attention. There has to be attention. The sender has to be attentive, and the receiver has to be attentive. The sender and the receiver have to both be interested in the connection. They both have to be present in the sense of wanting to be there. And now here's another one that may sound the same, so listen very carefully. Intention. There has to be attention, so they have to attend the event. And intention, that means that they have to intend for something to occur. Sorry, the sender has to intend for something to occur. Now, what do you think is the intention of the sender? If there's a sender and a receiver and a message and a medium or a distance, and they're both attentive, and the sender is intending something to happen, what is the sender intending to happen? To deliver the message. That's very close, Sathin, that's very close. To cover the information. Okay, that's good. Whoa, they're coming in so fast. Sender is for him to hear my idea. Understanding of the message and agreement with it. Sharon, understanding is correct, agreement is not correct. Because if I say Trump is bad and the listener says, no, Trump is good, we still had a communication. To understand the message, very good, bud. To get a response, no, that's a different communication. When you get a response, that's the sending of the next message. We're in this message only. That the receiver understands. Irene, you got it perfectly. Tim, to make the sale. Duplication, very good. Sarah, you got it. That's the exact word. To reach a goal, okay. Expect a response. No, you don't have to respond. To be listened to, it's more than that. They have to actually get it. Okay, wonderful. I can see, 23 messages. This is the most, I want to congratulate you. This is the most attentive, engaged, responsive audience I have ever had. I'm cheering you. Don't worry, it's not alcohol. I'm just cheering you. Mary, they don't have to confirm they got the message. Because when a message is sent and received at the other end and understood, that's the end of the cycle. Sending another message back that you confirm, that the sender confirms it, that's another message. So I'm going to type the whole thing. Communication is sender and receiver over a distance with attention and intention by the sender for full duplication, and another word for that is understanding, at the receiving end. There it is. That's the full definition. Communication is sender and receiver. There must be two, over a distance or through a medium, with attention. They both have to attend the event. And there has to be intention by the sender for full duplication or understanding at the receiving end. That's communication. I could speak for 3 days on that topic. I'll give you some examples. Have you ever spoken to somebody and they looked away for an instant? Please don't type in yes, because then there'll be like 300 yeses. If you've ever spoken to somebody and they got distracted for a moment, whatever distracted them is where they are and they're not with you. And so what's missing? Type in what's missing. If you're talking to somebody and they get distracted for a moment, what's missing in this definition? Attention is missing. Very good. Attention is missing. Very good. Very good. And also, the receiver is missing. There's no attention by the receiver. In fact, there's not even any receiver. Yes. Very, very good. Very good. Let me go back, because now my definition is buried, so I'll have to reproduce it for you. Yeah. Okay. So here's my rule. If I'm a great communicator and you want to communicate like me, here's my rule. If I'm speaking to you and your eyes get diverted for a moment, I stop talking. I stop talking. Why? Because you don't have any attention and you are not even there. If I'm speaking to you and you go, oh, what I said just triggered a memory of yours, I'll stop talking. I'll say, what was that? And you'll pretend that it was nothing. You'll say, oh, no, nothing. Go ahead. I'll say, no, it sounded interesting. What was it? And you'll gladly launch into your story. Maybe I reminded you of a joke about a circus, or maybe I reminded you of what your uncle said to you before he died, or something like that. And you'll gladly tell me the whole story. But if I don't let you do that, then all the while I'm talking and all the while that you're pretending to be listening, you're saying, tell them what my uncle said before he died. Tell me what my uncle said before he died. Remind me, don't forget to tell them what my uncle said before he died. And you're just waiting for me to stop. So now let's go on to another part of that definition. Over a distance. Oh my gosh, people do a terrible job on that. Have you ever been in an audience and somebody puts their hand up and the speaker says, yes, ma'am, what's your question? And she says, and the speaker can't hear. Why? Because the person in the audience is using the same loudness as they use when they're talking to a person 2 feet away from them. The speaker can't hear a word. Even someone 2 rows away can't hear. And so what they're doing is they're misjudging the distance. They're misjudging the distance. It's a horrible error. It's like screaming across the Grand Canyon. If you're going to mutter or mumble or whisper that quietly, don't bother talking, because you're violating the definition of communication, which means over a distance. And the distance has to be the distance from the sender to the receiver. If you speak in a loudness that doesn't get your message to the receiver, don't bother talking. Oh, but I have little lungs. Oh, give me a break. Stop with your justification and your excuses. If I had little lungs and my voice could only go 4 feet and the person I'm talking to is 10 feet away, I would walk 6 feet towards them so they could hear me. If the volume of my speaker isn't high enough, I would turn it up. If I'm listening to a radio and I can't hear the radio, I'll turn the volume up. Like, you need to be responsible for the distance. You need to be attentive. Am I attentive when I'm speaking to you? Absolutely. It's the only thing on the planet right now is you. I'm not thinking of my wife. I'm not thinking of whether I'm thirsty. I'm not thinking of the essential oil that I'm diffusing. I'm not thinking that I have to do a podcast as soon as this is over. None of that. I'm not thinking of anything. I'm attentive. And because I'm attentive fully, all this stuff like my hands are trembling or I'm nervous, it goes away because I'm attentive to what I'm doing. And so let's say my hand is shaking. So what? So let my hand shake. I'm attentive to you. I'm focusing only on delivering my message to you. I'm attentive to this process. I intend for you to receive the message and understand it. And my hand is shaking. What's that got to do with anything? But the only way you can get distracted by your hand shaking is if you're not attentive to the process. If you couldn't care less whether they hear you. If you have no intention that they receive it and understand it. And if you're attentive to your hand shaking, then you're not attentive to the conversation, so you're not doing your job. So the only people that are observant of their knee shaking or distracted by their hand shaking or trembling are people who are not doing their job. When you're doing your job, you're focused on the other person, making sure they get it. That's all I do. The reason people say I'm such a great teacher is I have no other concern except making sure you get it. So people say to me, how can you be so patient? Someone will say, Raymond, can you explain ABC? And I explain it. And then someone says, Raymond, I have a problem with ABC. And I'll say, well, I just explained it, but maybe you didn't hear it or didn't understand it, so let me try it another way. And then someone will say, can you explain ABC? And I'll say, well, seems like you weren't here when I explained it, so why don't I just explain it again? And then people say out loud or in the chat, how can you be so patient? And here's my answer. It's my job to make sure that you fully duplicate my message. When I send a message to you, it's my job whether you get it or not. If you got it, I did my job. My job is not to send the message. That's what people mistakenly think. My job is not to send the message. My job is to send the message to a receiver over a distance with attention to the process and intention for the receiver to get it. That's my job. And if any one of those fails, like there's no receiver, I stop talking, or I can't project over a distance because my mic got cut off, or the people aren't attentive because there was a loud noise in the back and everybody turned around, or it's a bunch of kids and they have no interest in understanding what I'm saying. In any of those cases, I stop talking in the middle of that syllable, because unless I can fulfill the definition of communication, there is no communication, so I stop talking. Unfortunately, what you do is you keep talking. If the person isn't listening, what do you care? You still want to tell your story. Don't do it, because there's no communication. Carol says I make her laugh. That's good. I like that I'm funny. All right, so I have actually a formal presentation for you, but I wanted to respond to your issues before I gave my presentation. And now that I've taught you about the definition and about what adrenaline means at the beginning, do you have some questions that I could possibly answer before I gave you a formal presentation? Sir says you might keep on talking to win the argument. Well, if no one's listening, you're not going to win. So do you have a question? Thank you so much for caring. Oh, Michael, you're a sweetheart. Paul says, how important is pace of speech? The answer is the pace has to be at the right gradient for the audience. Gradient is like if here's a level and you're walking along a level and then you increase the slope or the gradient. If the slope is too high, you won't be able to do it. It'll be too steep for you. And if the slope is too low, you'll get bored. So if I'm teaching at a pace that's too slow for you, you'll turn off and get bored. If I'm teaching at a pace that's too fast for you, you'll just daze out and go away because you don't understand anything. So you have to keep at the pace that the audience can do. And the way you know that is by asking questions. M says, is intentions both ways? No. No. Attention is both ways, but intention is only the speaker. Only the speaker is responsible for making sure the receiver gets it. Carol says, I've been told I have a voice that carries. What does that mean? Well, there are different frequencies. There's bass and there's treble and there's alto. And you have a voice that has enough treble that it gets through. So like a bass may not get heard, but a treble can get heard. So you have a voice that even when you speak quietly, people on the other side of the room can hear you. It's just physics. It's not anything spiritual. It's just physics. Sathinda says, should I make a few jokes to grab the attention of my audience? Well, if you're not a very good speaker, you might as well make some jokes. But I don't tell jokes because if they've heard the joke, then they'll think my speech is boring. But if you want to grab someone's attention at the beginning, tell a good joke. Make sure they don't know the joke. Good question. Bruce says, I think a lot of people keep on talking because they're afraid of silence. Silence can be very powerful. Well, yes, people are deathly afraid of silence because if you're talking in a group and you pause, someone else will jump in. And people are so conceited, they want to keep the magic talking stick all the time. They think their opinion is more important than anyone else's. And so people say the word, if they can't think of the next word just to keep the magic talking stick. I'd rather have silence. And if someone jumps in to talk, great, I just keep quiet. Serge says, I've got an experience when nobody wanted to listen to me, but I kept talking. The louder, the more they ignored me. And I became so much annoying and boisterous that they gave up. Well, I don't know what gave up means, but if they don't want to listen to you, stop talking. Ask them what they want to say. Mag says, how do you recommend attention in a room with a soft-spoken voice? Get a microphone. Get a microphone. Jose says, public presentations are difficult around the world. Oh my God, what a horrible thought that is. You're like the doctor who said attention spans are too short these days. Public presentations are difficult around the world. So how can we still easily communicate with this world? Stop thinking that it's difficult. I don't think it's difficult. I think with Zoom, it's incredibly easy. Why would you have a thought that is difficult? If you have a thought that's difficult, you'll have to have terrible communication. So let that go, Jose. It's not true. S. Mirabella says, Japanese use silence to get you to say yes. Well, good for them. I don't understand that concept, but sounds amazing. Serge says, I had to persuade to give me my clothes back. Okay, I hope you got it. Michael says, I noticed the pause is a great way to replace ums and gives the audience time to digest. Okay, use pauses then. If it works for you, use it. Good idea. Anastasia says, what if the majority listen to you and some people not? Well, not everyone's going to listen to you. Worry about the people who are listening, not about the people who aren't listening. Serge says, I've got that back. Good. Anastasia says, then you also stop? Yeah. If people aren't listening, I gave a speech once. I was supposed to give a speech at noon. And I showed up at 11:30. And they said, oh, you're right on time. The food comes out at noon and you're the speaker over lunch. I said, no, I'm not. Yeah, I have a contract. And we've already paid you. Yeah, you've already paid me. And we have a contract and I'm not speaking at noon. Why? Because I can't compete with food. When they're eating, their attention is on their food and they're not listening to me. I will not speak at noon. Well, why don't you speak like at the end when we're having dessert and coffee? I said, lady, if I can't compete with calories, I certainly can't compete with sugar. And she said, well, we'll have to bring in one of the afternoon speakers to speak over lunch and you can speak in the afternoon. I said, good. I will not speak when no one's listening. I will not speak when no one's listening. Anik says, what are the tools? Oops. The conversation just flips by so fast. I can't find you. What are the tools to keep the audience completely involved throughout the talk? Well, that's what I'm going to be teaching you. Anastasia, keep talking. Okay. Coolwinder says you have to stay focused and pause. Good. Anastasia says, I have a lecture and one person read the newspaper, did not know what to do. Forget about them. If there's 100 people and one person's not paying attention, forget about the one person. Speak to the other 99. Paul says, who would you say is the best communicator you've ever known? Dr. Nido, Nido Qubein. I'll type it in for you. Dr. Nido Qubein. Qubein. I know it sounds strange. Dr. Nido Qubein, best communicator I've ever known. And he's my coach. S. Mirabella says, point is that Americans can't stand silence, so they babble. Okay. Anastasia says, I have a lecture, and one person read the newspaper. Right. Thank you very much, sir. Good. Okay. So I'm going to give my formal presentation now. I think you'll really, really like it. Yes, he's not the dean, he's the president of High Point University. He also owns La-Z-Boy Furniture. I've written my book, but I'm afraid to go online to talk about it. Well, just listen to my presentation, Em, and you'll learn a lot. Murthy says, you're an excellent communicator I've ever known. Oh, thank you. What a sweetheart you are. Jason says, awesome intro, Raymond. Wow. Wow. You are a sweet audience. You're very, very sweet. Okay, formal presentation, my friends. Here we go. Okay, you might want to take a lot of notes because I'm going to teach you how to earn a fortune in an hour. This is not get rich quick, but it is how to earn a fortune in an hour. And I do need to remind you, this is not for everybody. This is for people who want to make a great deal of money, shockingly, with very little experience or ability. It's shocking. So let's get started. It might be for you and it might not be for you. So take great notes and make a good decision. This is for you if you want to break out of your income limitations. See, right now, if I offered you a job and I said, what is your salary expectation? You'd probably say a few $1,000s more than you're earning now because you're looking at life through the rearview mirror. You're saying, well, I earned $62,000 last year, so I want to earn $65,000 this year. But why? Like, I remember I was hiring somebody and I asked her what her income requirements were, and she said 43,700. I said, 43,700? How do you know it so exactly? She said, well, I was earning 43 last year and I want to earn a little more. I said, well, why didn't you say 400,000? Why didn't you say 90,000? How do I know what you think you're worth? And typically, I'll have people applying for a job and their salary expectations will be anywhere from 40,000 to 100,000. And the people that want 100,000 get it. And the people that want 40,000 get it. So I want you to break out of your income limitations. Because think of how much you earn right now, whatever it is. Think of how much you earn right now. You got it? Now divide by 2. So let's say you earn 50,000 a year now. Divide by 2 is 25,000. Remember when you were earning 25,000 or half. Remember when you were earning half of what you're currently earning now. Okay, got it? Did you think it was possible to earn double? No. No. And yet here you are earning double. So this is for you if you want to break out of your income limitations. And if you want to earn more in an hour than you now earn in a year. Earn more in an hour than you now earn in a year. And let me give you an example because you may think I'm exaggerating. No one who owns a house says to you, oh my gosh, you won't believe it. My house went up $11 last month. Nobody says that. Why? Because real estate doesn't go up by $11. If it goes up by $10,000 or $50,000 or $100,000. It doesn't go up by $11. Similarly, when you speak on stage, you don't earn $11. No one's going to offer you $11 to speak on stage. You'll get $5,000, $40,000. That's how much you earn. That's what the job offers. That's the deal. Now, maybe you're in a job in which you work for an hour and you get $10, or you work for an hour and get $30. So how can you possibly work for an hour and get $40,000? You may not be able to believe it. If you can't believe it, turn this off and go away because it's not going to work for you. Really? You can earn your year's income in an hour. Really? Not fast buck overnight, not a trick, not illegal. That's what I do all the time. And that's what so many of my students do. So it's not get rich quick. I told you that. And it's not fast buck overnight, and it's not rob a bank, but it is get trained to earn a fortune in an hour. So how on earth can you possibly do this? And the answer is speaking from the stage. When you speak from the stage, you can't earn minimum wage. You can't earn $15 an hour. There's no such thing. No one's going to hire you at that silly rate. They'll hire you for $10,000 for the day or $40,000 for a keynote speech for an hour or even for 45 minutes. People like, ex-President Obama or ex-President Bill Clinton. People like, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Oprah or Warren Buffett or Sir Richard Branson or Bill Gates. They'll get paid $1 million or $500,000 for 45 minutes. Now they're very famous, but $500,000 is a lot of money for 45 minutes. You can earn very, very large amounts of money in a speech. But you may be afraid of public speaking. I've already covered that. The butterflies that you refer to, they're not warnings that you better not stand on stage. They're your body telling you that you are indeed ready and there's enough adrenaline to take care of any emergency that happens. You may think you don't know enough, but I'm telling you, whatever it is that you've been thinking about, whatever it is, whatever you do as your hobby, whatever you think about in a humanitarian way, whatever you know about in your business or your job, most other people don't know that and want to know about it. Even if you don't think that, let me give you an example. So I teach wealth. I teach spirituality. I teach how to speak on stage. I teach how to increase your income. But I'm also the survivor of a horrible divorce. Now, please hear me correctly. I'm not blaming my ex-wife. but there's a special place in hell for her lawyer. He was a very, very nasty person. And I got through it. And it was the worst, absolutely 2 worst years of my life. Her lawyer specializes in clients who are gorgeous, zero income, trophy wives of internationally famous high income husbands. And he knows how to hurt the husband. He does. He really, really does. And he hurt me very, very severely. And I learned how to handle it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have survived. Now, I could give a speech called Men, How to Get Through a Horrible Divorce. And people would line up to hear it because there's a lot of men going through horrible divorces. And so I don't see myself as like a marriage counselor or a divorce specialist or a family law lawyer. I'm not any of those. And yet, just because I had 2 years of experience in a bad divorce, I could give a talk on it and fill a room. I ran 3 marathons. I learned a lot. I could give a talk on what are the 10 rules for successfully training for and completing a marathon. I've run 2 ultra marathons. One was 100 kilometers for my American friends, that's 62 miles. And the other was a 350-mile ultra marathon. I could give a talk on ultra marathons, and a lot of runners would sign up. So you think you don't know much, but you've had many life experiences, and you actually know a lot, and people want what you know, believe it or not. You might be worried you'll be boring, but once you use my techniques, I teach you 8 secrets that when you use those 8 secrets, people will be attentive and fascinated and taking notes and laughing and eager and responding and putting their hand up and nodding yes all the time. There's 8 secrets, and I teach you those. You may not know what to talk about, but the strange thing is, whatever you know, there are people who want to know about it. One of my clients makes earrings. She's a young person. When I was coaching her, she was in her early 20s, and she's been making earrings since she was a teenager. So she said, well, I should give a talk on earrings. And the place was crowded. There was all these women who wanted to know about earrings. They didn't just want to buy earrings, they wanted to know about earrings, and nobody on earth is giving talks on earrings. I was stunned. But whatever you know about, people want to learn about. You don't know everything, but you do know enough to give a fascinating speech. Because strangely, the content isn't the totality of what people want. They also want to be entertained, they want to laugh, they want to participate, they want to put their hand up, they want to nod, they want to agree, they want to disagree. And when you know all those other things that they want, then the content is actually a smaller part of the message. And I teach you all of that stuff. So you need to make a decision. Are you prepared to take the road less traveled? And let me tell you the pros and cons. If you take the road less traveled, you'll lose some friends. I'm telling you now, you'll lose some friends. Because if you have a friend who earns $50,000 a year and they're in debt, and you get on stage and earn $15,000 in a speech, and they have to work a third of a year for that, they will not like you. They will resent you. They will talk badly about you. They'll say nasty things like, oh, look at this big shot with a swelled head, because they will feel bad that they can't do it. Misery likes company, and you're leaving their company and rising. So you'll lose friends if you take the road less traveled and decide to speak on stage. You will have initially a fear until I remind you that it's not butterflies, it's not fear, it's the adrenaline, which is good for you. So there is a benefit to taking the road that everybody takes, and that's you can be lost in the masses. You can drown in the sea of sameness, and you won't stand out, and no one will notice you. But you'll also die broke. and I don't really mean die broke, but well over 80% of people in the Western world die broke. Well over 80% of the people in the Western world die broke. Certainly people who do not own their own home, almost all of them die broke. Even the people who own their own home, and the home has gone up a lot in value, once you subtract the funeral costs, once you subtract probate, once you subtract how much they owe on their credit cards, and once you pay funeral expenses, there isn't much left over, even if they own a home. So if you dare to take the road less traveled, you have the chance of being in the 20% who die wealthy. But very few people take that. How do I know that? Because 80% die broke. So if you stay huddled in the masses, the one thing I can guarantee you is it'll be really safe. No one will look at you. No one will notice you. No one will notice you. You won't stand out at all. But you won't have the joys that you wish to in life. The joys that I have. The joys that everyone who speaks from stage has. Everyone. I've never said this before. I've never said this before. There's no one broke on stage. Wow. There's no one broke on stage. Everyone on stage is wealthy. Huh, that's right. So where are the broke people? The broke people are in the audience. Oh my gosh, of course. The broke people are in the audience. The rich people are on stage. And so if you want to stay in the audience, that's fine. And you won't have to have any fears, but you won't have the goodies of life. If you take the road less traveled and decide to do something different, you can have a totally different life. But it's your choice. You alone can make the choice. You can keep all your fears. You can say, no, Raymond is wrong. It's not adrenaline. It's really butterflies. I shouldn't be on stage. I'm afraid. Maybe my fly will be undone. Maybe everybody will laugh at me. Maybe I'll say the wrong thing. Yeah, you can keep your fear. Or you can join the $100,000 Club. I'm introducing you now to the $100,000 Club. What is the $100,000 Club? It is a club of those people who've earned $100,000 in a speech. And every time I coach people or mentor people or teach people or give people guidance on how to speak from stage, as soon as they earn their first $100,000 in one speech, I treat them to a special meal, and well, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but there's a really beautiful surprise when you earn your first $100,000 in a speech. And you might say, well, it's not even possible. Excuse me. You're going to be earning from a guy who belongs to the $1 Million Club. There's only 9 people in history who have ever earned $1 million in a speech. Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, a half a dozen others, and me. Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, a half a dozen others, and me. If you want to join the $100,000 Club, you better learn from a guy who belongs to the $1 Million Club. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and there's only 9 in history that have ever joined the $1 Million Club. $1 million in a speech. I'm the one to learn from. So I'm a New York Times bestselling author, but you know most of this stuff. You may not know that I have written and had published 143 books. I'm rated as one of the top speakers in the world. I'm friends with all of the top speakers in the world. I've been on stage for 37 years, and I'm willing and ready to teach you. I've got high credentials in exactly what you want. This is your opportunity. So would you like to earn directly from me in person? I don't mean from some videos. I don't mean from some tutorial audios. I don't mean from a creepy PDF download. I mean me. My lips to your ears. Your lips to my ears by asking questions. Learning directly from the master. So what is my secret to high income? Communication equals income. That's my big secret. And by the way, at the end of this presentation, I will give you a link to download my brand new book, Communication is Income. At the end of this presentation, I will give you a link to download my book, Communication is Income, absolutely for free. So in the meantime, let me explain that to you. If I locked you in a cave for a year with no Wi-Fi, how much would you earn? And the answer is nothing. So it's clear that no communication equals no income. Now, if I let you out of the cave, let's go back to that. If I let you out of the cave and you started to be able to communicate, then you could earn some money. You could sell a car, sell life insurance, sell real estate, get a job, flip burgers at McDonald's, something. If you could communicate, you could earn something. And so communication is exactly equal to income. No communication, no income. A little communication, a little income. Bad communication, a little income. A lot of communication that's good, a lot of really good communication is a very, very, very high income. A very high income. I told you that I earned $1 million in a speech, 90-minute speech. The average Canadian earns $50,000 a year. $50,000 divided into $1 million is 20 years. The average American earns $40,000 a year, but that's 40,000 US. 40,000 into $1 million is 25 years. So I earned in a speech what the average Canadian or American earns in 20 to 25 years. In 20 to 25 years. And I'm not saying you're going to earn $1 million. That's a very elite group of only 9 people of us. But can you earn 5,000? Oh my gosh, yeah. 2,000 is easy. 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, yeah. Now it gets harder to earn $30,000 to $50,000. That might take you a few years. In one speech, you might say 50,000. I'd take a whole year to earn that. I know. And when you join the $100,000 club, I take you out for a huge surprise. Yeah. This is real. These numbers are actually real. So tell me the difference. Do you want to be a public speaker or a professional speaker? And I'm sorry, you can't type the answer in because I can't see the answer when I am making a keynote presentation. So I'll just tell you the difference. A public speaker speaks in public. A professional speaker speaks in public and makes money at it. See, the difference between a professional and an amateur is an amateur does something and makes no money. A professional does the same thing and makes money. So if kids are on the street playing a pickup game of basketball, they're amateurs. But in the league, the official basketball players earn millions of dollars a year. But even if they earn only $1 a year, they're a professional. So I know that you know by now that you want to be a professional speaker, not a public speaker. And when you are the speaker, this is the most important slide I have. This is the #1 most important slide. Make sure you get this down. Either do a screenshot when I'm finished or write it down, but make sure you get this. This is the most important. When you're the speaker, you are branded. 97% of people are not branded. When you're the speaker, you are dignified. Most of the people in the audience are not dignified. When you are the speaker, you are perceived as amazing. When you're the speaker, they will want to buy from you. They'll want to buy from you. When you're the speaker, they'll want you to coach them. And coaching is $5,000, $20,000. When I do coaching, it's $25,000 to $100,000 US for a year. That's what I charge. When you're the speaker, they'll know you as an authority. When you're the speaker, they will acknowledge you as a professional. When you're the speaker, you will earn huge amounts of money quickly and effortlessly because you deserve it, because you're in an arena in which people in that arena earn a lot of money. Like, let me say it a different way. When you flip burgers at McDonald's, you earn $15 an hour because that's what people who flip burgers earn. It's not good or bad. If you're a dentist, you earn, let's say, $500,000. Why? Because that's what dentists earn. If you're an airline pilot, then you earn $300,000. Why? Because that's what airline pilots earn. If you're a butcher, you make $100,000 a year. Why? Because that's what butchers earn. And similarly, when you are a speaker, I don't know how much money you'll earn per year, but you'll earn $5,000, $10,000, $25,000 in a speech, honestly, in a speech, and it's professional income, which means you can deduct all of your expenses. And this is even, oh, let me go back so that you can, oh, sorry. I forgot to let you take a screenshot. So let me just go back and let you take a screenshot. Yes, so take a screenshot of that. You must understand this. This is powerful. This is huge. Good. And even more shocking, the world famous professional athletes, politicians, actors, and celebrities wish they could earn as much in one speech as a speaker trained by me. Now, world famous athletes make a lot of money. They may make millions of dollars a year playing basketball or football or tennis, but they may not make that much on stage. Politicians, maybe they speak well, maybe they don't. And they usually speak for free to try to win elections. But when they speak to make money, they don't earn that much. Actors and celebrities, Brad Pitt earns $20 million making a movie. But how much does he earn giving a speech? The people I train actually make more money giving a speech than professional athletes, politicians, actors, and celebrities giving speeches. That's shocking. That's shocking. Now, there's two types of professional speakers, and I want to introduce you to that. A keynote speaker and a sell speaker. A keynote speaker is someone who gets paid in advance and speaks on a certain topic. A sell speaker, S-E-L-L, is someone who doesn't get anything in advance, but offers a product at the end of his or her speech and then shares that revenue with the host. And every time I ask this question, everybody says, oh, I want to get paid in advance. Yeah, I want to get paid in advance. Yeah, let me get paid in advance. It's actually the wrong answer. So let me explain it deeply. A keynote speaker gets paid in advance, which is really delicious. All the travel, all the hotel, all the Ubers to the airport, all the food is all paid for. And your name is publicized when they publicize the event. So you get money, you have no expenses, and you get lots of celebrity. That sounds really good. But let's talk about a sell speaker. A sell speaker can earn way, way, way more than a keynote speaker, even though you pay your own travel and hotel, and your name is still publicized. Why can you earn a lot? Well, nobody is going to pay me $100,000 to give a speech. They might pay Barack Obama $100,000. They might pay Sir Richard Branson $100,000. They're not going to pay me. But if they put me in front of several hundred people, so let me give you an example. Let's say 300 people. And let's say I sell 70 packages to 300 people, which is kind of normal for me. And my program, my book writing program is $3,000. So 70 times 3,000 is $200,000. $200,000. The promoter gets half and I get half. So I've made $100,000 in an hour speech. $100,000. They won't pay me that in advance. They'll pay Barack Obama that. They'll pay Bill Clinton that. They'll pay Bill Gates that. They won't pay me that, but they'll gladly give me $100,000 if I bring in $200,000. Let's say I spoke to 5,000 people and sold 500 of them. That's only 10% at $3,000. 500, that's 1,000 over 2 times 3,000 is 1.5 million. So I brought in 1.5 million. I get half, $750,000. $750,000, and I have to pay for my airfare. That's not so terrible. I've earned $1 million once, but I've earned 250 up to 750 many, many times. And $50,000 is like under my normal. And 50,000 is an average annual income. I hope you're interested. Because by the way, I have no skills. I have no skills. You might say, oh, Raymond, you have lots of skills. Not when I started. When I started, I was a physicist and a mathematician. What the heck's that got to do with anything? And here I am teaching. And so I've developed my skills over time. But when I started, I was a mathematician and a physicist and a computer expert, and I never taught any of that stuff. So I have no skills except skills that I developed on my own. So which do you want to be? You probably want to be a sell speaker, because make sure you write this down. It's not on my notes, but make sure you write this down. Keynote speakers don't make money if they're good as a speaker. They make money if they're world famous for something else. Keynote speakers don't make money if they speak well. They make money if they're famous for something else. So Gwyneth Paltrow, Brad Pitt, Sir Richard Branson, Oprah, Bill Gates, they will make a lot of money not because they speak well, but rather because they're famous for something else. Oh my gosh, Oprah's coming to town? Of course I'll go see her. Oh my gosh, Oprah. Now we know that she does speak well, but for example, Sir Richard Branson does not speak well. And so when you go to see him speak, he doesn't speak. He has in his contract that he sits in a comfortable chair and his interviewer sits in a comfortable chair. And honest to gosh, not being sexist, he requires the interviewer be a very, very good looking girl so that people are looking at her and not him because he's shy. And then she is allowed to ask him only the questions on the list that he approves. So he gives her a list of questions. She asks those questions. He knows the answers, and he just chats to her because he's not a very good speaker. And yet, he earns lots of money. Now, he doesn't actually receive it. It gets donated to his charity. So I'm going to teach you both. I'm going to teach you keynote and sell. So let's get going. There's 3 requirements to make big, big money on stage. Only 3 requirements. So take lots of notes right now. Here are the 3 requirements. Number 1, you need to be taught by me. You might say, oh boy, that's self-serving. Well, then go learn from somebody else. Go learn from somebody else. Who else is going to teach you? Is Sir Richard Branson going to teach you? Is Barack Obama? Is Bill Gates going to teach you? Who's going to teach you? And the other people who are willing to teach you charge way, way more than I do. So let's just talk about this. Number 1, you got to be taught by Raymond. Number 2, you have to have a great product to offer if you're a sales speaker, or you have to get money up front. And number 3, you have to have a dazzling, compelling close. Of course, if you're selling something from stage, you have to have a good close. But even if you're making your money up front in a keynote speech, you have to have a dazzling, compelling close so that they'll cry and they'll laugh and they'll applaud and they'll give you a standing ovation. And when you get a standing ovation, they'll invite you back and pay you again. So let me go through the 3 one at a time. And the first one is taught by Raymond. I will teach you all the secrets, and there's only 8. And when you learn my 8 secrets, you'll be a dazzling speaker. There's just 8. There's not hundreds. There's just 8. There's 59 communication errors that you make, like saying, starting the story too early, like preamble, justification. There's lots of mistakes people make on stage. And I will teach you the 59 errors that people make on stage. But more important, that's the negative. I'll get rid of the negative. But more important, I'll teach you the 8 positives. There's only 8. And when you do even 4 or 5 of those 8 in a speech, your speech will be dazzling and you'll make a lot of money. You'll know exactly how to construct a powerful speech. I show you a piece of paper, which I say, here's the first part, here's the second part, here's the third part. Here are the things you do in this part. Here are the things you do in this part. Here's the things you do in that part. When you're switching from this part to that part, here is the 6-word sentence that you say. When you're switching from this part to that part, here is the 9-word sentence that you say. I give you everything, like word for word. So if you're not sure what to say, I give you everything so that you're a powerful presenter. And you're under my care all the way. I'll be with you all the way from learning to actually getting onto your first stage everywhere. I am there for you. That's the first thing taught by Raymond. The second thing is you have to have a great product to offer, or you have to have a great speech so you can get money up front. And let me talk about number two. What you have to learn about in number two is that I will show you how to have great products to offer. Even if you have no product whatsoever now, even if you have never even thought of creating a product, I will show you exactly how to create a product. It's part of the program. Now, some people don't think they have a product. Let's say you're a dentist. You might give a talk on why you're such a good dentist, and then people will say, okay, I'd like you to be my dentist. So that's your product or service that more people will come to you to be their professional. So some people, or let's say you're a realtor, you'll get more clients. So some people have a service that they offer, but some people don't have any product or service. I'll actually show you how to create a product or service that you can offer and make money at in a speech. And you will own these products for the rest of your life, and you can use them in any way you wish and make lots of money forever. So you take a course that I'm offering on speaker and communication once, and you get a product, and you learn how to give a speech about it, and you make money forever. You invest the tuition once, and you make money forever. And I commit to teaching you how to make 10 times more in a speech than you could do on your own. 10 times more in a speech than you can do on your own. So let's say you're giving speeches and you're getting $500 for a speech. Bang, 5,000. If you're making 10,000 a speech, I will show you how to make 100,000. Not just show you, you'll actually make 10 times more than what you're doing on your own. That's a giant, giant promise and commitment. Or if you want to be a keynote speaker, I will teach you the big secrets on getting lots of money up front and a standing ovation at the end so that they'll love you and they'll pay you more and more and more. And then the third item is you need a dazzling, compelling close. So let's talk about that. You'll earn millions a year with my patented closes. I teach you several ways to close if you're selling from stage, and they're all brilliant. And I'll show you how to do it so easily because I give you a template and you just fill in your own words on this template. Here's what you do in this part. Here's the 6 words you say here. Here's what you do in this part. Here's the 9 words you say here. Here's what you do in this part, in this order. I just fill it out for you. You just fill in the blanks. You just fill in the blanks. That's how easy it is. Or if you want to be a paid and advanced speaker, I will show you how to get a standing ovation every time. A standing ovation every single time, guaranteed, because I know how to do it. And you don't have to be a great speaker like me. I show you a way to get a standing ovation every time. When you hear it, you'll laugh because as soon as you hear it, you'll say, oh my gosh, that would work. And those are the 3 techniques. You're coached privately by me, not privately. I will work with you one-on-one. Great products to offer, or you get money up front, and a dazzling, compelling close. It's powerful. It's really powerful. And remember, it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to earn a lot of money. Most people are frightened to death of doing anything different from the masses. And so if that's you, if you want to huddle in the masses, if you want to not have the possibility of earning a huge amount of money, living in luxury, then it's just not for you. And it's okay. It's okay. You can just go back to where you were before my talk. It's for you if you wish to dramatically increase your income. Dramatically increase your income. Because if you can earn in an hour what you earned all last year, then just do that once a month and you've increased your income by 12 times. 12. And that's not unusual for my students. Not unusual at all. The road to success, there are no shortcuts. You can't just say, oh, heck, I'll just figure it out on my own. There's no shortcuts. You need to take the course. In just 3 days, you'll learn the most valuable and profitable skills in speaking, presenting, Communicating and Influencing from Stage in the Speaker and Communication Workshop. The tuition for this life-changing 3-day workshop. What is the tuition? Well, all of my friends are professional speakers. Jack Canfield in Santa Barbara, California, charges $25,000 for his program, and he calls it Train the Trainer. T. Harv Eker, when he created his company Peak Potentials, he charged $4,000 for his program, and he called it Train the Trainer. My friend Bill Walsh in Chicago, he charges $3,000 US for his program. And my friend Andy Harrington in London, England, charges 4,000 British pounds. So that's the range, like 3,000 or 4,000 US dollars up to 25,000 US dollars. And it's worth it. They're great programs, and you learn how to make a lot of money. But that's not what I charge. Why? Because I'm already very wealthy. And I think that communication is the most important thing that man has ever created. And I think it's a shame that so many people don't have a clue how to communicate well. I mean, of course you know how to communicate. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. Hi, I'd like a macchiato vende hunga munga. And the barista says, okay, I understand what you mean. Go to the round table and pick it up, and you get it. So of course you know how to communicate. But most people don't know how to communicate well. They do not know how to communicate well. Otherwise, their income would be 10 times higher. And so I feel bad for people who don't know how to communicate well, or even worse, people who think they communicate well but are not making the money that proves it. And so I don't like to charge that amount of money. I make money in other ways. I'm not against making money, but every accountant and every doctor and every lawyer does pro bono work. Pro bono means that you don't make a living at it. You take on special cases. And for me, teaching speaker and communication, it's my giving back. I want people to have that skill. I want you to have that skill. And so I should be charging $5,000. That's what my wife wants me to charge. Why? Because I'm probably a better speaker than all of my friends put together. I certainly earn more than all of them put together. Why? Because I'm a great speaker. And I'm the only one of them that's in the $1 Million Club. So I should be charging that. That's what my wife wants me to charge. And pretty soon I'll probably give in and charge that. But at the meantime, you can still get it at the tuition that I want to charge, which is practically nothing. Practically nothing. Here are the dates. November 20, 21, 22. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. November 20, 21, 22. It's all day. It's like 9 to 5, or sometimes I vary it a bit. And Eastern time, 11 to 7, something like that. But whatever time zone you're in, you might have to get up a little early or stay up a little late, but you'll still get it. November 20, 21, 22. And when you hear the tuition, if you really like it, register anyways, and then just send us a note saying, I can't attend in November, I'll attend a later one, and we'll tell you the dates. I teach it every 2 or 3 months, so there's no problem. But don't wait till then to register. Otherwise, you may have to pay $5,000. So it's November 20, 21, 22. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Teach it every few months, so register anyways and just tell us that you want to take a later one, but don't miss this tuition because I'm doing it for you. And where? Well, I love to teach it in Hawaii. I just love to teach it in Hawaii. I live in a cold climate of Toronto, Canada, and I love every time I get to teach, I love teaching in Hawaii. There's 2 options. The first option is you can do nothing like most people. Most people on this line will do nothing. And you already know if you're someone who's going to do nothing. And if you are, well, I hope you change your mind. And then the other option is people who will attend the workshop. Why? To earn a fortune in an hour. Now, if you attend the workshop, you'll have an intention to earn a fortune in an hour, and you will. If you do nothing, you'll make up excuses. You'll say, oh, he's just bullshitting. You can't earn that much money. I'll never get spousal approval. I don't have the time. I'm busy in November. I don't want to sign up if he doesn't tell me the date of the next one. Yeah, there's lots of excuses. Lots of excuses. I can't get away from work for 3 days. I work on weekends. You've got lots of excuses. And it's okay if you want to do nothing, because 80% of people will do nothing and 20% will register for my workshop. So if you want to register, I'll love you. And if you want to do nothing, I'll still love you. You just won't be able to earn a fortune in an hour. And there's a huge bonus. What is the huge bonus? Raymond will show you his speech that earns millions of dollars a year and reveal how it really works so you can easily do it. This is worth a fortune. During the 3 days, near the end of the 3 days where you've already learned everything, I will bring out my speech that earns me millions and millions of dollars a year, sometimes millions in a month. And after you've learned how a speech should be, I will show you my speech. I'll show you the first slide and I'll say, what's that for? And you'll say, oh, of the 8 secrets, that's secret 1, 2, and 6. Very good. And I'll share my next slide. Oh, that's secret 7 and 8. Very good. I'll show you the next slide. Oh, that's secret 5. And then I'll show you the next one. That's secret 4. I'll show you the next one. That's secret 1, 2, and 4. And you'll say, oh my God, all you do is every slide has got 2 or 3 of your own secrets. Exactly. And as soon as you see that, all your fears will go. You'll know you can earn a great deal of money and you'll have made it. This is the most shocking thing. No other speaker, you can pay $25,000 to anyone else and they will not show you how their own self-speech works. I'm the only one that does this. Wow, wow, it's a giant thing. And another huge bonus, if that wasn't enough, Raymond will show you other successful celebrity speeches and how they really work. I've got several celebrities' speeches, and I will put their speech on the screen and play it for you. And then I'll show you what they do, and you'll say, oh my God, that's what you teach. Oh my God, I noticed he did this. Oh my gosh, I noticed secret 6. Oh my gosh, there's secret 2. Oh my gosh, there's secret 1 and 5. You'll see me doing it. You'll see other celebrities doing it. And then you'll know that you can do it. It's amazing. This is the most amazing course there is, but there's more. You will know how to get on radio and television. You'll be able to get your own radio talk show. I don't mean the creepy internet radio. I mean a real radio station where they have their own building and they have a door and you walk in and they have rooms with AV studios, like a real radio station that has like hundreds of thousands of listeners. I will show you how to get your own radio show, and I'll show you exactly how to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars a year minimum from having your own radio show. And you will know the 3 questions. The 3 questions that make you the most powerful one-on-one communicator in the world. Because in order to speak one-on-one to people, you don't have to tell them stuff, you have to ask them stuff. And I will teach you the 3 most powerful questions. And you will know how to construct a speech, either a keynote speech that has a dazzling, compelling close at the end that gets you a standing ovation and lots of money in advance for the speech, or a compelling sell speech. You'll get everything. You will know how to introduce yourself. Most people don't. If I say to you, introduce yourself, you'll say, I'm a dentist. That doesn't work. I will teach you, bang, 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 how to give a powerful 30-second elevator pitch that will dazzle people. Everything. But there's more. I will explain in detail exactly how I earn so much at every speech, exactly what I do in detail, from walking onto the stage to head nods, every single thing in detail. That is worth a complete fortune. And as a bonus, I'll tell you how to speak powerfully off stage one-on-one so that people that you're speaking to one-on-one will be totally impressed with you. Raymond will make you a powerful one-on-one speaker in a small group so you can be in charge of business and personal conversations. You won't even recognize your own power. But there's even more. Raymond guarantees to show you how to earn 10 times more than you could ever earn on your own. Raymond guarantees to show you how you can earn 10 times what you could ever earn on your own, and I guarantee this. I will say to you near the end, once you've learned all my stuff, I will say to you, how much do you earn selling right now? And you'll write it down. And if you don't earn anything selling, I'll just say to you, how much do you think you could earn selling? And you'll write it down. And then you'll use that number, and I'll say to you, now let's use my technique that I just spent 3 days talking to you. How much would you earn selling that very same thing using my technique? And you'll write it down, not me, you'll write it down. And then we'll divide. And it'll be at least 10 times according to you, not according to me. You will say to me that, oh my gosh, I will earn 10 times more. Wow, a fortune. This is worth a fortune. So here's the bottom line. This is a unique opportunity to have huge success, making big money on and off stage, learning from a giant master. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. And the stairs take 3 days. Not a year, 3 days. Not an hour, 3 days. Give me 3 days, I will make you such a powerful presenter that you will make at least 10 times more than you ever thought possible. Have you ever had bacon and eggs for breakfast? I'm sure you have. Let me tell you something you've never realized. For the hen, eggs are her job. For the pig, bacon is total commitment. For the pig, bacon is total commitment. And that's my question for you. I am totally committed to your success. I am totally committed to your success. Are you? For most people, I'm more committed to your success than you are. When you register, I am there for you no matter what, to make sure your income from selling goes up by a factor of 10. Even if you don't sell anything now, just think of how much you could make selling and multiply it by 10. Unbelievable. I am totally committed to your success. In 3 days, day 1, you'll learn how to be powerful one-on-one. Day 2, you'll learn how to be powerful on stage. Day 3, you will make lots of money as a speaker one-on-one or from stage. Lots of money. Day 3 is the money day. Are you ready? Come on this journey. It is a delicious, enjoyable, elegant, distinguished, wonderful journey. And yes, though I love teaching it in Hawaii, because this is the year of COVID, I'm teaching it by Zoom. Zoom is so elegant. It is so wonderful. You can sit in your pajamas in your bedroom and learn from me no matter where you are in the world. And it's not $5,000, but it probably will be $5,000 soon. But it's not now. When you get in now, and by the way, you'd better register instantly as soon as you see the link. Why? Because I allow a limited number in the room. I mean, Zoom allows me to have thousands, but if I have thousands, I can't get to know you. So I like to keep it limited so I can get to know you, get to know your story, get to help you individually, get to answer your questions. And so I restrict it. So when you go immediately to the link, if you see a questionnaire like name, address, all that stuff, then fill it in. If you get a big red sign that says sorry, then you got there too late and you can't get in. So you need to have this wealth journey. It's the most exciting experience you've ever had. And another extra bonus, and that is you will learn your superpower. What is a superpower? You will find it. You will find your own superpower. So I have to ask you a question. What makes speeches powerful? And you might say humor or engagement or attentiveness or cleverness. Listen carefully. Whatever you think makes a speech powerful, that's your superpower. Whatever works on you will work for you. Whatever works on you will work for you. If you think a great speech is great because the speaker's funny or clever or engaging or knows lots of stuff or can filter it all down to 3 important topics or something like that, whatever works on you will work for you as your superpower. That's how you identify your superpower, and that's how you make a great deal of money. That's a genius idea. And I've got one final giant bonus for you. Another giant bonus. Listen carefully. It's not $5,000. Are you ready? Here it is. I'm going to reveal the price in the very next slide. The tuition is in the next slide. It's not $3,000. It's not $5,000. It's not $25,000. Wait till you see this. It is US dollars. Here it comes. Here it comes. Get ready to go to the link. Here it is. $497. $497 for me to get me for 3 days. $497 to get a guarantee of 10 times your income. A guarantee of 10 times your income for $497. Aaron.com/virtual SCV. SCW, sorry. Virtual SCW. And SCW stands for Speaker and Communication Workshop. Aaron.com/virtual SCW. Aaron.com/virtual SCW. Only $497 USD. That's unbelievable. None of my friends offer their speaker and communication workshop at anywhere near that. They're usually 10 times more expensive than that. I do it because I love you and because I think that it's a God-given right to be able to communicate. It's the best thing man has ever created, and I don't feel good about charging you for it, so I basically cover my costs. It's only $497 USD, and there's no retail sales tax because it's done on the internet, and it's USD because that is the currency of exchange of the internet. Now, if you have any questions whatsoever, then you can go to help@aaron.com. Let me see if I can do that for you. Help@aaron.com. I can't insert it. Oh, there it is. Help@aaron.com. So let's say you want to invest your tuition by wire transfer. Let's say you want to split it into 2 credit cards. Or let's say you want to pay half today and half tomorrow or something like that. Then just email help@aaron.com and he will take good care of you. Email help@aaron.com and he will answer all of your questions. Aaron.com/virtual SCW. Get in immediately. Get in immediately. Virtual SCW at only $497. It's a giveaway. It's basically free at that tuition. Crazy. Make sure you go to November 2021-22, or once you get in, just say, alert me to the next one. I do it every 2 or 3 months. Wow. That is my program. It's amazing. And I'm now going to turn it off, but I'll type it in again. Jose says, thank you, Raymond. Paul says, do we have to choose Keynote or Sell? You get both. I teach you both, Paul. Jennifer says, Raymond, I love you. Just paid. I'm in. This is a dream come true. Thank you. Carol says, let me get through my boot camp first. That's all I can afford for now. I don't know what boot camp she means. Maybe my book writing program. And Aisha says, help@aaron.com. Thank you, Aisha. Anik says, Aldo Ferroni, you are also a paid employee like Silas. Not sure what he means. TJ Sills says, whoa, thanks, Raymond. He's probably shocked at how low the tuition is. November 20, 21, 22 of 2020. Boy, there's a lot of twos. November 20, 21, 22 of 2020. Aaron.com/virtual SCW. Very good. I think Anik has the courage to say what many of us are thinking, but are afraid to say. There is such a thing as overselling. Oh, maybe Anik doesn't like me. Aldo says, TJ Sills, I could not agree with you more. There's always one in the bunch. Mickey says, hi, Irene. Raymond will host it virtually on Zoom. I hope that helps. Irene says, what about COVID? It's by Zoom. TJ Sills says, Anik, just drop out as you are not getting it. Bye and have a terrific week. So Anik doesn't like me. Anik, he wants us to buy his program and just selling us hammering his techniques. Okay, Anik, I don't mind. If you don't like me, oh, here's another thing. Anik says, Raymond, that is why we are here, but Raymond has provided us not a single thing of value. Well, that's not really true, Anik. I spoke for an hour answering all of your questions, giving you the definition. I've given you lots of information, and I've given you a guarantee. But it's okay, Anik. It's okay. 80% are not going to join my program, and it's totally okay for you not to join. And if you also want to tell everyone I'm a bad person, that's okay too. I don't mind. But there's 20% who are going to join my program, and I even love Anik, even though he doesn't seem to like me. Moji says, thanks. We can get the link to your book. Oh, can we get the link to your book? Yes, I will do that. MJ, next one for me, please. Okay, good. So Aisha, can you please record that MJ Maher has already enrolled, but he doesn't want to attend November. He'll attend the next one. Mustafizur says, what are the bonuses? And I think he means, where do I get the communication is income book? And I'll give you that in a second. Tim says, I just paid. Thank you, VM. VM. Thank you, VM. So, Tim, why don't you tell me what VM stands for? I know it's complimentary, but I don't know what it is. Mary says, I'm in. Anik says, you guys waste your time and then don't even reply to objections in a polite manner. Well, Anik, you're the one that's not polite. My gosh. Bud says, I'm in and excited about writing my book. Wow. Aisha says, aaron.com/virtual SCW. Where is the PDF of your book? Okay. So Aisha, why don't you put that in right now so that people will know that I'm going to tell the truth? TJ says, I'm not a techie, so I'm signing out to register. Thanks again. Oh, I'm so glad you're joining. Aisha gives the date. Rick says, will you be emailing the link? No, I'm going to give it to you in a second. Oh, and Nick still doesn't like me. I like you, Raymond. That's why I'm here, but I'm disappointed. Oh, I see. Okay, well, that's fair. But I did teach you for an hour, Anik, and then I offered my program. And it's only $497. It's hard to complain. And I'm guaranteeing you 10 times your income. That's a pretty good guarantee. Anastasia says, there were value, and thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Anastasia. Crystal said it's an excellent program. Rick says, Raymond is an awesome speaker and worth even more. Carol says, I think you are great, Raymond. Thank you. Aisha says, yes. I don't know what she means by yes, but I'm happy. Jennifer says, every word was gold. Already speak publicly and do okay, but now I'll learn how to do fantastic. I was expecting $5,000 to $30,000. $497 is a gift. You got that right, Jennifer. Thank you for this gift. You're just what I needed. Great. Tim says, very much. Oh, thank you very much. Good. Thank you, Tim. Bruce says, thank you very much. Sheree says, communication equals income. Sarah says, VM means very much. Tim says, VM equals very much. And Mancy has given you the link to get my book. It's aaron.com/communication is income book. aaron.com/communication is income book. Lee says, you're wonderful and so kind. Thank you, Lee. Aisha says, aaron.com/communication is income book. Mancy says, aaron.com/communication is income book. Serge says, I'm in. Yay. Just paid for the show. Jose says, how long is this deal for? Midnight tomorrow? Jose, you can procrastinate all you want. But if you want to get the $497, you at least must email help@aaron.com today and say, I have to get money from my wife, or I need to get my credit card back from my daughter or something. Can I pay tomorrow? Something like that. But if you just wait till tomorrow or wait till next month, you likely won't get this crazy deal. So if you can't pay today, but you can pay soon, or you can pay half of it, then just email help@aaron.com and make your deal with him. But don't delay, don't procrastinate. Mostafizur says, I enjoyed your in-person workshops. Thank you. Anastasia says, I bought your workshop online, Raymond. Aaron reveals the secrets of powerful communication. Thank you, Anastasia. Dana says, I need to go. Bye-bye. Moji says, you're amazing. Thanks, sir. Mostafizur says, it's like anything. It's like anything? Okay. Jason says, thank you, Raymond, as usual. Irene says, I'm so eager, dreaming of working with you. Well, we will be working together. Aisha says, you asked me to take notes. I said yes to your request. Oh, good, thank you. M says, thank you, Raymond, for this program, value in every word. Erica says, you do give great value, Raymond. Paul says, awesome being in your orbit again, Raymond. Oh, wow. Anastasia says, I saw already, bought your workshop online, Raymond. Good. Bud says, I paid over $10,000 for another program with limited guarantees. Bud, you're the only one who you totally get it. Bud paid $10,000 for another program, and mine is $497. Wow. Aldo says, this has been awesome, Raymond. I'm definitely going to join, but maybe when you do the next seminar. I'm so sorry for people like Anik. This is a fantastic deal, no matter how you look at it. I'm glad you live in Toronto as I do. Hopefully I can see you live soon. Aldo, if you can't attend in November, don't do nothing. Email help@aaron.com and make a deal with them. Make a deposit. Do something. Don't just wait, because you're going to be really upset if you hear about the speaker and communication workshop and it's $5,000. So please email help@aaron.com and make your deal with him. Aisha says help@aaron.com. Lee says, you just can't make some people happy. Maybe Anik is just having a bad day. Maybe he is, and maybe he'll have a good day soon. Carol says, Aaron, thank you. Interesting. Will it also be recorded? Will you give us tips on how to get clients for our speeches besides radio? Yes, I teach you how to get clients. Absolutely. Carol, you'll love it, but you won't love it unless you join. So Carol, get into it. It's amazing. Mag says, yay, emailed, looking forward to upward and onward. Yay, Mag. Irma says, thank you, Raymond. Andreas, my buddy, says, I bought your workshop a few years ago. Is this the same or an upgrade? Well, the truth is, Andreas, that many people reattend and reattend and reattend because there's more data, there's more value, there's more wisdom in this workshop than in any other workshop. People who are taking it their second time and third time tell me they get more out of it the second and third time because there's just so much in it. So if you took it before, please take it again. I remember you live way up north somewhere, way up north. It wasn't Thunder Bay. Where was it? Sarnia? It was way up north. Why don't you remind me, Andreas, where you live? But yeah, take it again. Take it again. You'll absolutely love it. Barty says, link, please. I've given you the link. Michael says, my sincere gratitude for this insightful workshop. Thank you. Renee says, appreciate your, I think she means insight. Florence says, thank you. I've enjoyed your teaching. Thank you, Florence. Shirley says, please type the link for your book. We already did. And why don't we do it again? Aisha or Mansi, type in the link for the book. Gordana says, thank you for your PDF. New book. Lot of love from Slovenia. Have to run. Slovenia is the only country in the world that has love in its name. And I love Slovenia. I love it. Andreas says, thank you for your book. Good. But Andreas, remind me what city you live in. Myrna says, what is the link for your book? Yes, we're going to put it in again for you. MJ says, thanks. I can tell that something is great by the negative feedback you get, which others who are less polite than me would call it envious attack. Wow, okay. Tom Barrington. Hi, Tom. Wow, I haven't seen you in ages. Thank you for another amazing training, Raymond. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to your being there. You'll love it. Romez says, what is support email? help@aaron.com. help@aaron.com. So type, one of my staff, please type it in. Karen says, thank you, Raymond. Amit says, Aaron, the link to the ebook does not work. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's check that out. I'm going to click on that link right now. I'm going to click on that link right now. I can see it working for me. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I can show you. I clicked on the link and there it is. There it is. Communication is income. I just clicked on the link and that's what I got. Communication is income. There's the cover. There's the cover page. There's the legal page. There's the table of contents. Yep. I just clicked on it and it worked. So just click on it again because it works for everybody else. Or maybe use a different browser. Maybe that's what you need. Or just email help@aaron.com and we'll send it to you another way. Renee says, I'm grateful for your wisdom, Raymond, and your insights. I will give this some serious consideration. Renee, don't bother. Serious consideration for $497? Please. It's not worth serious consideration. Just do it. Like if it was $10,000, then you'd have to have serious consideration. But really, if you have to give serious consideration to a few $100s, you're not making enough money. Andrea says Kenora, but now Thunder Bay. Okay, good, thanks. So Aisha's given you the link for the book. Mansi's given you the email address to get information. And Andrea says it works, good. Murthy has typed out an Amazon link. Really? And it works also, wow, okay. But I think with Amazon, you have to pay for it. Dominica says it worked for me. Andrea says, link that is. Paul says, it foes work does. He means it does work. Sometimes typos are funny. Murthy says, this works. Paula says, work for me. Amit says, it does work now. Erica says, it's working. Paula says, just click in the chat and it should open in a new window. Aldo says, do you know when you'll be on stage live in Toronto again and what you will charge? Well, first of all, nobody knows when I'll be back on stage. Nobody. And I do know what I'll charge, $5,000. So take it now for $497 or wait till I'm on stage at $5,000. Jason says, thank you for the link. Looking forward to it. And Duni Owa, Dr. Duni Owa from Nigeria says, hi, Raymond. If not Hawaii, when is the next cruise training? Paula says, I'm in. Thank you. You're all sweet. You're all so sweet. Well, this is more fun than I ever expected I would have. More fun than I ever expected. And it's been 2 hours already. Boy, that 2 hours went by really fast. So you got the link for the free book, and you've got the link to register for only $497. And you've got the email address to contact my senior staff in order to ask any questions. So Aisha's repeating it. There's the link for the book, for the free book. And she put it in again. Okay, good. Now put in the link for them to purchase the speaker and communication workshop. Aisha or Mansi. There it is. Aaron.com/virtual SCW. Well, I had a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to teaching you. If you've decided not to take it, I still love you. Completely okay. Just may not be a good time for you. But if you're not taking it because you don't have the money, then you darn well better do something different. And this is the most powerful something different you're ever going to get offered. And if you're not taking it because you can't get the time off, then notice that somebody else is in charge of your life. Your boss, your clients, someone else is in charge of your life. So you're not running your own life. When you make more in an hour than you make all last year, you're suddenly in charge of your life. So this is your opportunity. You can have excuses or results. Excuses are, I can't get the time off, I don't have the money, my spouse won't approve of it, I have taken other courses and didn't get anything out of it, I don't believe your guarantee. Those are all just excuses, because I've been giving this course for 10 years and I've got happy clients. Indeed, there are clients of my speaker and communication workshop who were listening on this line and they were saying, I took it before and it's great. So let all of your excuses go. And you might say, no, they're not excuses, they're real. They're real. Well, I'll tell you what. There are people who don't have any money who somehow found the money. There are people who don't have time who found the time. There are people who couldn't get spousal approval who somehow got spousal approval. So if you don't want to take it, then believe your excuses and don't do it. It's completely okay. But if you want to do it, just go for it. And if you need some help, email help@aaron.com and we'll help you out. Okay. Have you decided on the times for the workshop? You know what? I have decided. So let me just look it up for you. It's a good question. Okay, here it is. November 20, 21, 22. Here it is, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. That's a good question. Can you provide a referral so I? Can you provide a referral so I? Not sure what she means. Paula says, I've been looking forward to this workshop. I just paid for my book website, so I sent an email to Mickey. I will be there. Paula, you're my new best friend. Renee, if you need a referral, it's $4.97. If I charge $8, would you still need a referral? Mansi says, each day. Yes, it's 10 to 5 Eastern each day. Paula says, if there's someone on the line that's taken my course already, why don't you just answer Renee's question? She needs a referral. She's not willing to invest a few $100s until she gets even more proof. Paula says, I've been looking forward to this workshop. I just paid. Oh yeah, we've done that. Bye, Raymond. Great webinar. You're looking great as always. Aisha says $4.97. Renee says, so I can speak to someone who's taken the course. Well, if there's someone on the line, there's still over 100 people on the line who've already taken the course, just type your name in. Rick says, I've taken the course if anyone wants to know. Well, Renee wants to know. So there you go. Renee, talk to Rick. Okay, my friends. So I'm going to sign off, but I'll leave the webinar live so Rick and Renee can talk to each other. Aldo says, I'm a huge fan of Brian Tracy. I figured out he was a friend of yours. Yeah, he's a good, dear friend of mine. Paula says, I haven't taken this course. I've taken other speaker courses, including one for $15,000. Green Mind Property says, thank you, Raymond. See you tomorrow. Oh, wow. Murthy says, thanks. Sarah says, I did the home study course and it was excellent. So there you go, Renee. You got 2 testimonials. I hope that's enough for you to jump in for only $4.97. Sarah says, I did the home study course. Yeah. Okay, good. So Mickey or Francis, don't disconnect. There's a couple people who still want to chat. So I'm just going to turn off my video and microphone, and we'll leave this live for a little while, and then I'll turn it off later. Okay, thank you. If you joined, thank you. If you didn't, thank you for listening. And I hope you still like me. And I hope you enjoy the book. And I look forward to teaching you. You'll love it. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. But I'll leave the webinar live so you can chat if you wish. Mashaba says, thank you so much, Raymond. You're a star. Well, so are you. Susanna says, thank you, Raymond. Everyone is so... Paul says, bloody brilliant, Raymond. You must be British. Bloody brilliant. Bloody brilliant, mate. Okay, bye-bye.